Hello, everyone, and welcome to another episode of the Off the Rails podcast. I'm your host, Gregory, and today I'm joined by another great special guest, Sir Mike Sheldon.
Hi.
Sir Mike Sheldon, you and I have known one another for a couple of years, maybe?
Yeah. So at least since I've been knighted,
You've been knighted.
you keep calling me sir.
Oh, shit.
I mean, you can. I'm not saying I don't fuck with it. I'm just saying.
I mean, if you want me to send a request to Prince Andrew and see if he can give you that official
I
title.
don't want a fucking pedophile touching me with a sword. Don't no. Wait, is he the pedophile? No, he the pedophile one got excommunicated, right?
Yeah, it's
Prince Andrew's just the old fuck, right? He's the one that's gonna be king, right?
oh no, or is that Charles? I think Charles is the king now, and then no, I don't know. I'm
Honestly,
not
the
really,
monarchy's just the Kardashians for whiter people.
and I don't like. That's a really interesting thing. I don't like the monarchy. Like many people, Americans apparently like they're so interested in like the Queen. They loved the Queen, and I'm sitting here like, do you folks know what like, and again, like maybe she was not responsible for all the terrible things that her country did,
Oh.
but she didn't.
Yeah, but like all the terrible things she did, or at least her monarchy have done, are why we're Americans. like,
Oh
but
yeah, exactly. That's true.
but like, fuck it. That being said, all the terrible things they've done, we got taxed too much. God, it's white people problems from centuries ago. But fucking so the thing about the monarchy I don't like is how like into it people like again, it's just Kardashians for like a different fucking demographic of whiter people.
It's so dumb, dude. Like what do they do?
Right, no, they just receive tax money and like they have I think they have like some say in parliament, but like so apparently, right? The at one point Queen Elizabeth, the one that just died, the fucking mythical corgi mom bitch that just is so like fucking
Rest in peace.
sure.
Somewhere.
Sure. So like she when she like was like going around the world doing like a bunch of humanitarian shit or whatever she was doing. I'm not going to pretend to know an actual history of Queen Elizabeth, but when she didn't want to be in the parliamentary office, what they did was they erected a pole called the Queen's Pole, and like in Parliament, you would have to stand and like salute, maybe like say the Pledge of Allegiance or whatever the fuck. Again,
Okay.
I don't know how, but you had to acknowledge the Queen in some way. So what they did was they put that pole there to serve as her. That's what they bow to. That's what they like fucking like hail before every meeting. Did you hear what I just said? They replaced her with a fucking pole. That's how useful the monarchy in the last 200 years has been.
Do you think do you think someone like strip danced on that pole?
I feel like it'd be a wasted opportunity if not, but then again, it's also, I say it's also England and they're all fancy, but nah, there's some fucking gross people in England.
Oh, there are gross people everywhere,
Absolutely.
and I'm pretty sure there's some parts of England that are pretty bad.
Oh,
Of course.
absolutely. I've seen Train Spotting, I think.
Train what?
It's a movie about heroin.
Oh, I thought it was a movie about a train.
Technically, yes. The God, it's adorable that you don't know about Train Spotting. Is it about a train?
Did
There's like so many like 40-year-olds. Well, there's so many 40-year-olds that might hear this and just think that's also hilarious.
I mean, I mean, listen, I'm an innocent angel. Okay, I
Yeah,
don't.
no, it's adorable.
God damn it.
Gregory.
But like, like I never understood the charm for like they don't even do anything. And apparently, when you are in the queen's presence, you're not even allowed to like ask her what she does.
Yeah, and to which like eh, I get it because like honestly, if you're not aware, what the fuck? Where have you been? Like, what do you mean? What does she do? She like kind of just collects core guy and fucking globe trots. Like she was what, like 98? What the fuck do you want her to do?
I mean, she has all that money. I mean, she has to do something, you
Oh,
know.
absolutely. But like at a certain point, it's kind of like how we have like the NBA Olympic team or whatever the fuck, like the net, like our American basketball team. It's kind of just for our morale at a certain point because we realized we sucked at soccer. England realized they sucked at being likable, so they just made a really nice, colorful lady that breeds the most adorable dog on the planet for image purposes. That's what it is, really.
The army of the army of
And then her grandkid's
corgis.
Ron Weasley, and he's having a bit of a redemption arc this season.
Oh
Yeah,
yeah, how so?
I don't fucking know. South Park made fun of him, and they responded.
Oh wow, it must have been
Yeah, so like South Park was basically like saying that, like in allegory of joke, they were saying that the prince and his wife, fucking are asking for all the attention to tell people that they don't want all the attention, basically. To which, yeah, that's not an old celebrity. I mean, I'm sorry, that's not a new celebrity trope. You know, it's true, but yeah, it's played. It's almost like not even a joke worth getting mad at. Like it's one of those things where it's like, eh. But yeah, they responded, and I don't even know what they said. I just like remember reading the headline for it, and it's just like you just so the episode in the episode, they were like holding up picket signs, like "We want privacy." They make Canadians talk really fucking weird, and then they had the English be part of that. In the episode, he's the Prince of Canada. It's fucking South Park lore. Anyway, but yeah, they're
South
just
Park
holding up
lore.
like signs that just say like "Don't fucking subject us" or whatever. Like just going on Ellen. We want privacy, and then they respond to that episode of South Park, to which like you just I literally got an alert that's one of those signs that says "We want privacy" on Google by you in real life. What the fuck are you responding to that for? Did you watch it? Do you not get humor?
I don't think they do.
It might, or they do, and they wanted to laugh at it too.
Or they wanted to use that as publicity as well. You know, like to just prove South Park right.
Maybe, and like that's okay. So like that's another thing to where like I don't know if there's like a television series documenting the prince and his wife. Like that sounds like something on E or TLC or some shit like that. I don't fucking know. But if there's not, like apparently they just want to like live simple lives in like some small town somewhere.
Um,
And I don't get how they're gonna do that because like you go to like and you go to a market basket and they're just like, so what? Like yeah, you're like 30 something or whatever, the however fucking old Mr. Weasley is, and you just they're just like, all right, so what's your former workplace experience? Like a little bit in the British army. Like okay, cool. But like other than that, what occupational experience? Oh, I received tax money from the United Kingdom's treasury for like my entire fucking life. What'd you do with it? Some stuff.
I use drugs, bought cars,
Did you do drugs?
women. I don't fucking know.
I mean, I would honestly. You're the Prince of fucking England. What risk? Like that's kind of the point. He can't go to Market Basket and fucking say his experience.
He probably pays someone to go to Market Basket for him.
He probably doesn't even know the person that gets paid to go to Market Basket because the director of the fucking mansion just like fucking
Probably just arrives at his door and he doesn't even know like how it even got there.
not even at his door. It's just already in his shelves. Like someone like again, like he's the fucking Prince of England. Someone's getting paid to coordinate the house, and then out independent of the house, they have someone bring in shit and put it away. If they see you putting shit away and they think it's not elves, you're fired.
Man, to be one with the royalty, yeah.
Sure.
What would you do, Sheldon, if like if one day you were just like you just found out that you were a secret child of like some queen or whatever, and that you were part of the British uh royalty, and that you were like
I'd wait for a check to start giving a fuck. And then I would use that to propel my stand-up comedy career. And then my jokes could all be mediocre and people would still pay to see me because then my life is basically like a fucking Sarah Jessica Parker movie. Uptown Girls playing in the background while I just like have all this money now and life's going great again. I don't fucking know.
or I mean, or you could just like decapitate whoever does not laugh at your jokes, and then you can charge them tax
So
for not
like
laughing as well.
I could, but as a blonde-haired, blue-eyed guy, I don't. I want to like stay as far away from Hitlery stuff as possible. Like I'm like 3 opinions away from being like looked at as a QAnon guy and looking like it. So trade this shirt for like a John Deere shirt. And give me a haircut. I look like I'm storming the fucking Capitol.
You have the beard for it.
Yeah, just the beard, right? Not the skin or the fucking accent or the ability to interact with small towns.
Yeah,
Yeah.
that's not suspicious. Not suspicious at all, Sheldon.
No, no, not at all.
I think it'd be really funny to like if like one day you just like, I mean, I guess not really funny, but like it'd be interesting to see like an alternate reality where you actually became a QAnon follower, and then you two meeting face to face.
I mean, yeah, it would. It sounds like some DC Comics shit. Yeah, it'd be interesting. He'd probably win because he'd have a gun,
and,
but
and what would you have, Sheldon?
not a fucking gun, probably. To be real with you.
You would have logic and the ability to communicate with people.
Doesn't beat guns. Promise.
Yeah,
I've seen footage.
shout out to America. Uh,
Trying it too.
I mean,
Russia, probably.
China.
Russia more just poisons your tea.
I mean,
Well, if you're important enough, they poison your tea.
if we're really comparing China and Russia to America, like China and Russia are China and Russia. Like they do
Yeah.
like some sketchy shit.
Yeah, and like, see, that's the thing. Like, as much as America does sketchy shit, like, the sketchy shit we do is absolutely deplorable, but it seems like it's kind of just in the interest of business, whereas China seems like it's like way too much into business, whereas Russia just seems like the dictatorship that it is.
Yeah, and I think things seem to be slightly escalating on that front.
Well, the Russia one.
Yeah, yeah, the Russia, Ukraine, America, NATO whole treaty thing, but I'm not sure if it was planned or not. Like a war to take a year, because it's really been dragging.
Well, like in the first few months, which like fucking Christ, it's been a year already. That was like my shorthand of like fucking. That wasn't that long ago. No, now it is. But
A whole year.
yeah. But like in the first few months when it was like getting right down to it, when Ukrainians were just throwing Molotovs out of windows and like Russians were just like getting out of their tanks and running away. I was like concerned for Russia. Like, are you guys okay? Are we sending aid to the wrong? I thought you were a military superpower. What the effing fuck, dude?
Their tanks were getting stuck in the mud and shit.
Yeah, like there's like TikToks of Ukrainians teaching each other, like, okay, so to take over this tank, like, what the fuck, man? And then the media cycle of America took over, and then I paid attention to other stuff. And frisbee golf season is in a few days, so yeah, I'm not up to date on it as I probably should.
You're gonna use like a frisbee golf, like colored, like a Ukraine colored frisbee golf.
You want to get it for me? Sure. Why not?
Fair play. Fair play.
I like neutral stable drivers.
Neutral stable. What?
Neutral stable drivers.
What's that?
They're a type of disc. There's a lot.
Oh,
of
really?
discs.
I thought we're talking about like people that drive cars, like neutrally stable.
Oh no. I was talking about frisbees.
How does that work, by the way?
What about it?
Frisbee golf. Like, how do you?
So it's the same rules as golf. Per hole, you got your par, which is just how many throws it should take you from tee pad to in the basket. And if you make par, like say it's a par 3, and you make it in 3 shots, you made par, you get 0 points. And then if you make it in 2, you get -1, and then the lower you score,
So the holes are like in the air, or like not in, not in the air, but like it's like it's like a basket that's elevated.
Yep. So baskets probably like some baskets are like higher or lower depending on where you are. Some baskets are elevated for like more difficulty. Yada yada, all that happy horse shit. But they're typically gonna be like about that high off the ground, like waist level or so, and then it's a basket like cage on the bottom that's about like usually that deep, give or take. Some are different, all that shit. And then the pole continues up. There's a rim. The rim and the basket are probably about like that far from each other. And under the rim, there's a webbing of chains. And then if you get it to rest in the chains or in the basket, it's in.
Wow.
Yeah.
I never heard of it until you either mentioned it or saw it on your Snapchat story.
Yeah. Both those things probably happened. I talk about it a lot.
You definitely remember talking about them, Sheldon.
Yeah. I remember that I talk about them frequently enough to where it's statistically impossible that I haven't. So yeah, that's
No,
one thing I remember.
so it's like your hobby, pretty much, like something fun that you like to do,
Yeah,
pretty much.
it's like hiking with a goal.
That sounds slightly offensive to people that do hiking.
I do hiking too, so suck my hiking dick if that sounds offensive.
But by the way, audience, he is taken, so I hope he will not consent to anything like that from any strangers.
No, for power, absolutely. Don't understand. This is about principle.
She will understand.
I would hope so.
Yeah.
I mean, like, let's okay. People that have a problem, people that get offended by the definition of hiking. I'm sorry, you're not people.
No, I mean uh like I mean like because you told our audience
Mm,
to do something
right?
for you. So
No.
I, I,
It's
I,
for them. If
I'm
they have a problem with, it, they can just not have a problem with it.
but if they do, then then they okay.
Yeah, then they can suck my fucking dick. I don't know if I said fucking, but yeah.
Okay. Okay. Well, I just hope
So anyway, frisbees. There's mid ranges, there's putters, there's drivers. I like a nice little fucking overstable mid range. Those are nice. You can throw them real hard and flip them over, or just fucking let them take their shot shape as they do.
so how big are the discs?
About like yay big. I want to say like for those who can't see my hands going yay big, they're probably about like less than a foot, like 10 inches or so wide, something like that.
Okay.
Sounds about right. Maybe like within a foot and 10 inches.
Okay. And I don't think I've ever seen it in action
I
before.
mean, I got some in my car. I don't know if this thing has a pause button, but I can go grab them.
Sure. I will pause it real quick. All right, Sheldon, welcome back.
Great to be back. Ugh, been a while. How are the kids, the hopes, the dreams, all that shit?
No kids, hopefully not now or ever.
Very fair, very fair.
Yeah, sir, still single. Unlike you and literally most of the people that I'm close with, honestly.
As I play around with my fucking frisbees.
Yeah, the usual.
Yeah.
Okay, so it's a average. I would say average, like frisbee size, disc.
Yeah. A little less than an ultimate. Well, an ultimate's way wider, but yeah.
Oh, interesting. Pro putter.
Yep.
It says here, it's white. It's round. Okay, it is indeed a disc.
Love this one.
Oh, okay.
That one's called Creamsicle.
This one is orange, cream orange. It seems like with a royal grace.
The disc is
Ah,
called the Grace. It's an 11 speed. It's what's known as flippy. So like if you're going to right hand backhand a disc, just physics will indicate like if you're throwing into an empty void, it will eventually start to land left. So like most shots, if you want it to land left, right-handed backhand, and then same thing is the opposite with a forehand in the way that it'll end right if you're to throw it. So that will go pretty straight if you throw it hard as fuck, pretty flat, and then end very slightly to the left after going a little bit right.
interesting. Oh, there's definitely not a simple definitely not a simple sport, if you will. Definitely
Oh yeah, it is. There's 12-year-olds that can throw way fucking better than me. I've seen it. It hurts a lot. So this one has a Lazatl on it because it's by Simon Lazat and it's an axolotl, so it's a Lazatl. Yeah, there's 12-year-olds that fucking destroy me in this game. I just have nice little pretty frisbees to keep me sane in it.
Dude, that's some sparky artwork here. Nice.
Uh,
I probably will be posting these on the Instagram page just so people can see. Oh, that one's really cool. It's really sad that the audience cannot see them, but if you head over to my Instagram page, off the rails, it should definitely be there. I will put a link on the description. So if you are interested in seeing these discs, you can go there and check it out. But yeah,
These ones are also pretty.
this one's pretty cool. It has tentacles on it. There's a, there's a sheep on this one. Aliens on this one. A disc on a disc. Another aliens one with pyramids and Egyptian symbols and all that. Well, yeah, you have an interesting collection here, Sheldon. Of
I got that one at the pyramids course.
there's a pyramids course.
Yeah, it's called the course is called Pyramids. It's Marshall Street disc golf. I don't know if I'm allowed to shout them out or not, but I'm not saying anything bad. I actually love their course. They're wonderful. And yeah, the course is called Pyramids. Real nice, like open for a wooded course. Costs I don't remember how much it costs, but it's worth every fucking penny. Yeah.
Okay, no, I think it's definitely a cool. It seems like a cool sport for sure. Like as I said before, one that I never heard of before. Have you ever done anything competitive with this?
Yeah, I've been in a couple tournaments, couple fucking what do you call them, flex leagues, but I
Uh,
suck at it. So
well, hey, at least you try, and hopefully, I'm guessing by the likes of it, you seem to have quite a bit of fun doing it.
oh yeah, I get really pissed at it too, but yeah, mostly.
Yeah, just you showing some passion, you know.
Right, it's totally healthy.
Yeah,
I'm not
absolutely.
calling trees cunts. No,
That was oddly specific, Sheldon. Are you sure about that?
no. I mean, yeah, totally.
I don't trust you, but
I don't
uh,
blame you.
but um, okay. So you did mention that, and we did talk about this briefly because we've not had like a face-to-face conversation in quite a long time. That you are actually no longer on the market, Sheldon.
I mean, yeah, you keep mentioning that. Yeah,
I do. I do. Like,
yeah.
did I mention this a lot here? Oh,
I
whoopsie
don't know.
daisy.
But
Uh,
no, you're always interested in that.
I
You
am.
like romance, I guess.
I do like romance. I am a. I think the audience already knows, but I am a published author, and every single story that I create has to have both fantasy and romance on it because I think those two are my favorite
Yeah, you watch anime.
genres. I do.
Yeah.
Not as much as I used to. But I definitely still do. I think it's definitely still entertaining and helps my creativity when I'm uh like j- just by trying to watch it for fun. It helps me with like creating new ideas for new things as well. But I actually I mentioned to you earlier that I wanted to talk about this because I wanted your perspective on it. Because you definitely seem to be a guy with a lot of interesting perspectives on specific subjects, and I wanted to know what is your like in terms of like dating someone,
Mm-hmm.
like how was it when you were younger, and how has it changed if it has changed as you are growing older?
I mean, I don't know. I really thought like I don't know. I don't really like date too often. So like,
Same.
yeah, yeah. I mean, I guess one way it's changed is pandemic definitely fucking changed shit. Made shit awkward for a little bit.
Oh, yes, yeah, you're not wrong there.
Yeah, but other than that, you know, it's kind of like so dating for me was mostly like just like through Tinder or whatever the fuck or like mutual friends. So you know, you kind of just like start taking it seriously if you get past like, you know, a date or two or whatever the fuck. And then I see how it goes. It's kind of like having a working interview at a job or something like that. You know, like within like about 2 weeks to a month, you can get fired at any fucking time and probably will. So like, it's one of those things.
Interesting.
Yeah.
Oh.
But then again, it's also like kind of cool too. Like especially like if you're not feeling it and they drop it before you, like, oh, fuck. Great talk, coach. Yeah, nah, seriously, you put together a hell of a franchise, but we're foot.
Yeah, they kind of pretty much do like some like they do something that many people are not really that comfortable in doing, which is like rejecting. Like I think like I would have a not the best time letting someone know that I'm not interested in them if they seem interested in me.
Mm-hmm.
So when they do it for you, it's definitely like a it may sound mean, but it's kind of like a blessing because then you don't have to do it. You know what I mean? Like
Yeah.
sometimes you have to, um, but
That's not
like I
really
said,
mean. It just kind of is.
yeah,
Yeah, if you're not
exactly.
feeling it, you're not feeling it.
Yeah.
Nothing wrong with that. And the sooner you let people know that, the better. Yeah.
Which honestly, like personally, I've started doing some on online dating by the recommendation of my mother, funny enough, and because of how different the culture where I was raised in is compared to here, it's just different. It's a bit tough to talk to people because they have their own bad experiences with guys and this and that.
Mhm.
And even though I may just like for me a date is just to try to get to know the person, and
Yeah.
just like anywhere, the first thing you will see is like their looks, right? And they can say, "Oh, are you just coming to me for my looks?" And it's kind of like, well, that's the only thing I can see. I would like to start talking, but some people don't feel comfortable like talking in certain places, so that's why I would prefer to be able to just either try to start conversation right then and there, or just like
Mhm.
ask them out somewhere. But apparently, according to some people, that is not like it can be taken like the wrong way. It can be seen as like a bad thing.
Well, that's also where online dating is honestly kind of essential because like once you mutually with someone understand like this is what the intention of flirting like because like yeah, like going up to people and just like trying to start a conversation as much as like that can be harmless, but like especially for women that can get creepy real quick, like
Oh
real
yeah.
fucking quick. And understandably so. Guys rape.
Oh
It
yeah,
happens.
guys can be creeps. Guys can be, and guys have been big creeps and big stalkers, and
Yeah.
like a lot of
Ah, we're
you
a
know,
thoroughly disgusting gender. We really are.
we we definitely can be, Sheldon. I definitely met and heard of some very interesting individuals and stories and things that they did,
Mhm.
and definitely disgusts me to be part of the gender sometimes. But there's definitely good guys out there, and there's also like bad bad girls out there too. You know what I mean? Like
Mhm.
girls that will just abuse and take advantage of someone like a guy's
Yeah,
kindness.
look at
You know what I
Jada
mean?
Smith.
Oh yeah, and then you have to,
God, that's a fucking old joke. That's
and
you
then
know
you
what?
have and then you have to
There's got to
walk
be
on the
something better.
stage and then slap someone and then yell at them to to take your wife's name out of their fucking mouth.
Yeah, yeah. You know, what, just upon immediate reflection, I'm not proud of that one. It's a very dated joke.
No, it's fine. I mean, it's a throwback. It's fine.
Ah, you're being too polite.
We forgive you, Sheldon. It's okay.
Who the fuck is we?
Me and hopefully the audience.
Yeah, fair.
Yeah, the audience can be very forgiving. No one's gonna talk about that interaction that we had, earlier that you were able to smoothly phase out from.
What? Which one?
Exactly. Okay, so no, yeah,
Anyone that is a cunt about calling hiking hiking can still suck my dick. I just want to make that very well known. That was for comedic purpose. I'm sorry if that was misinterpreted.
no. It was some people may do it that way. I was trying to make it more comedic, but I was kind of trying to not cross the line of like.
Why not? Like legit question. Why not?
No, I guess that's. I don't know. I just I don't know. I knew where I could take it, and I was not sure if people had their
You
seatbelts
can
on
take it
yet.
anywhere, sweetie.
You you can take it anyway.
You can take it anywhere. You got a few holes.
uh yes, like the dark hole theory
Yeah.
in my mind
And the
of
one in your
Stephen.
ass.
Like how you you got straight
I love that you
straight through my
just started
bullshit.
swearing like 2 years ago. Like again,
I
you're so
did.
fucking easy to make laugh. It's fucking
I
great.
am like I'm
I just
either
need a
the
crowd full of
easiest.
yous.
Dude, that would be. My mother would probably like lose her fucking sanity with that. Like I was telling you earlier.
Oh no, if you guys just keep on coming to my shows, like if I make 10,000 of you and I can like half sell out a fucking stadium, like twice a year, doesn't matter. We can keep them in a fucking farm somewhere. They'll generate money enough a year just to buy the ticket.
Jesus.
He won't be part of that.
But they will, Sheldon.
Yeah.
Wasn't that also Hitler's mentality as well?
Nah, probably, but like,
Nah, probably.
but like, I'm doing it to make people laugh. These clones, they ain't people. They're clones. All they got is your personality and hopes and dreams and DNA and
So
skin.
people, so
No.
sentient beings that can feel pain and suffering.
Yeah,
So people,
kind of like cattle.
I'm pretty sure that's what Hitler called the people as well. That fucking hideous, hideous fucking monster.
Yeah, but like, I'm not gonna like fucking put them down. I'm not gonna like throw baby Greg clones into the air and fucking shot put them.
Oh yeah,
I'm sorry, spot shoot him or whatever the fuck. Skeet shoot him. Skeet shoot him.
yeah. Thank you for
No
thank you for being
worries.
specific about that, Sheldon.
No
I
worries at all,
appreciate it.
man.
Yeah, we really like being specific here. Um, no, but like I can be like that's the thing about me. Like I'm very easy to entertain, but I'm also I can also be very hard to entertain as well. Like I have this thing about me where I'm for many things I'm one extreme or the other. Like if I really like to do something, I'm a beast at it. But if I
Mm,
don't want to do something, it's gonna be a drag to do.
mm,
Or like if someone's really honestly, I think a great match for me would be like someone that can laugh as easily as I can. You know, because then it would just be like we would be laughing. I would be laughing, and then my laugh would be making her laugh, and then be like a back and forth
find a theater girl.
theater.
Yeah. Theater kids are weird. They just weird me out. I just picture them laughing at weird shit all the time. Yeah, just theater kids grow up to be Disney adults. That's all I'm fucking saying.
Well, thank you for recommending me to a very interesting side of society,
Yeah,
Sheldon. I appreciate it.
yeah, no worries. So if you ever find a Disney adult that like at least drinks, yeah, go for that.
But I don't drink.
You know, right? But if she drinks, you'll probably laugh at the same shit. So if you find a sober Disney adult, one, they either used to not be sober and fucking results may vary, or two, they have always been sober and then like the word fucks like offends them.
Yeah, I definitely cannot be with someone that's sensitive about like because I my humor is kind of like I don't like specific sexual jokes like when you detail every single thing about like the actual act unless it's like a really
Well, if there's no
close.
punchline,
Yeah, if there's no punchline or if, like for me like I like the innuendo. I like stuff that you could say like uh almost in public and some people wouldn't get, but like
oh, so you like Seinfeld, probably.
potentially.
Are
Yeah.
you into stand up at all? Do you
I never tried, and I don't think
like
I'd
watching though?
be.
But like
Oh
watching
yeah,
though.
well, like Bill Burr's like my favorite comedian
All
of
right,
all time.
valid as fuck, valid as fuck. You don't like descriptive?
Well, he's well.
Well, that okay. He doesn't
It,
describe anything like sexual.
yeah.
That's fair.
I mean, sometimes he does, but
Yeah,
it's different. It's like I'm watching.
he's mostly visceral about like emotion and shit
Yeah,
like that.
yeah,
Yeah.
that and like some other dark shit. But when he does go sexual, he's more like he's more like when you're watching someone and you know what they're going to talk about,
Mm-hmm.
you shouldn't be surprised when they are descriptive. But when you're trying to like talk and meet someone, like you're not watching that person or you're not meeting that person just to like, well, at least I'm not to like and treating them like a stand up. Like it's like I want to make a potential relationship out of it. You know what I mean? So like
Okay, so you basically believe in the theory of like a business card self of like not like surface level knowledge, but like just a rudimentary like, hi, this is me. If I'll tell you problems on the third date, like kind of just like in that way, like if you make like overtly like is that what you're talking about? Like in dating, is that what you're talking about?
could you describe that a little bit more? I'm slightly confused on
I'm also
what you mean.
slightly confused too. I think the edibles are kicking in.
That's probably it. No, so I'm saying like I'm not like a guy that will like straight up just start doing like descriptive sexual humor.
Okay, yeah.
I only do that with like people that or once I'm really close with that person, then
Hmm.
I might try to do that.
Okay,
But my
okay,
favorite humor is the innuendo sexual version of it. So
okay.
like not like super descriptive, not super like detailed where you
Right,
can picture in your head, but
right,
more of like a funny if you have the humor to understand that you will. If you don't, it might just go right over your head, or you might be completely still disgusted by it
right.
for some
So,
reason.
so you like euphemism rather than like description.
Yeah, so like
Okay.
if you say like them, that's big, I'll be like, that's what she said. You know what I
Yeah,
mean?
yeah,
Yeah.
right.
I won't like describe a whole like sexual scene so you can picture it in your head. Not that you would mind that, but
Ha
but
head,
I much rather be innuendo-ish about it.
fair.
How about you?
If something's funny, something's funny.
I bet you're more into like the dark jokes, honestly.
Yeah, yeah. I don't mind. I do like dark jokes. Fucking. I don't know. I'm trying to write more like one-liners lately. Like I do like dark jokes, but it it's a nuance. Not everyone's Anthony Jeselnik just like throwing out like fucking parent funeral one-liners, and they're actually good. Like some people kind of just like fucking. I don't know. There's like a fine line between like awkward humor and dark humor, and a lot of people don't seem to get the nuance, or like it seems like it's easy to miss the nuance.
Oh yeah, for sure. It's definitely a hit or miss, especially when people can also be very sensitive to the stuff that you're
Hmm.
joking about. But if you're really good at it, or if you become good at it, it can be like your thing because since it's so rare for people to be funny with it. If you are funny with it, then you can really stand out from like the
Oh yeah,
competition really, really well as well.
yeah. But at the end of the day, though, like it's really more so just like, is it mechanically a joke? Because you can really fit in a story into anything as long as you start with a punchline or start with a setup and end with a punchline. Like, so there's 9 scientifically proven triggers for laughter.
Okay.
And as long as you fit within the confines of that, things are going to mechanically be funny. But then from there, like adding in shit like that, fine tuning what makes it funny, putting in different laugh points, like that's what'll like make a decent like joke land. The more you write it,
Interesting.
the better it gets, and the less you can write, usually the better it gets.
So do you know some of the nine things?
Yeah, there's irony, arrogance, double entendre, fucking, there's a few more. I have them written down somewhere, but I can't remember exactly. But
It's like honesty one, like someone that's like really, or like something that like surprises you, or something that you're not expecting, like something like out of the ordinary that someone says.
I think that would be iron. Oh, oh my god, what the fuck is it called? Subversion. Subversion.
Subversion.
That
Okay.
would be subversion. So
Subversion.
so like subversion. An example would be like I tried DMT last week. Was a little disappointed. Turns out it's just another way you can't see John Cena. Right, exactly. Like the subversion is the humor in taking it a complete, and that's where subversion and like awkward humor can, like, again, that line can get real fucking blurry.
Of course, and it also depends on the people because you
Yeah.
can have like a different like a crowd tomorrow, and you can tank and you can go to the same place with different people, do the same jokes the same way you said it, and then you just ace like you just like you you just like what do you call when you do like really well?
Kill
Yeah,
or do well, either one.
you, and then you just kill it. You know,
Yeah.
it's a really tough thing to get like actually like a treat it like a job because so many people like anyone can do it but not everyone can do it right to the point
Yeah.
where it's almost you have to be most of the time funny.
And like, and see, that's the thing. I would even argue that being funny is subjective to the point where even if you're not traditionally funny, you can learn how to write material still. Because like material, again, at the end of the day, comes down to like the scientific triggers of laughter. So if you if you fucking get set up back here.
Yep, just dropped a couple of things.
Yeah. But yeah, so
Hello,
like,
hello.
you still got audio?
I think yep, I do.
Sweet. So
Sorry.
if you can exist within those scientific triggers of laughter, it almost doesn't matter what you say if you don't mind going up in front of a crowd and continuing to say it. So like, the best thing you can do is, well, one of the best things you can do is record your sets, see where people laughed at what, see what you can do to make the joke cleaner, not cleaner in the way of like swearing or not, but cleaner in the way of like the least amount of words possible, only necessities being included or added or taken away. Um, and then once you record it and see where you can add more material where, um, then like just doing that repetitively will eventually give you good material that you can just go anywhere and use.
So pretty much just like practice makes perfect.
Yeah, like, and honestly, I gotta do it way more. I'm very fucking like 50-50 on when I do it. But
I mean, like at least you try. Like there are people out there who are like I would be like a little bit like just I think I could do okay, but I don't know. I think it's definitely like it can be a very scary thing to send to be there, and you'd be like the main center of attention, and you have to perform, you have to do well, or else people are like
no, you
it's
don't have
gonna
to
be
do well. You don't have to do well at all. It's a fucking open mic. Who paid? Suck a dick.
Once again that offer comes to the table. Hopefully, Sheldon is really just joking about this. You know.
But nah, if you go to an open mic and you sign up, it doesn't matter if you do good or not. If you bomb, there's almost like an amount of freedom to that. Because then at that point, just like make bombing part of your set. Like I haven't bombed this fucking bad, but like I have like an idea, and I don't even know if it fucking works. But I have an idea where like if I start like just completely eating shit, um, I'll like eventually point out like so like I know some of these jokes aren't landing, but I'll be real honest with you, I don't mind when they don't land. I really really find some bliss in just not in just knowing that you're not gonna laugh. At this point, you're just my therapist. Like I just pretend that you're not laughing because you're taking notes and you're gonna give me some helpful advice later. Like
That's
it,
fair.
and not again. I don't know if that'll fucking work, but like, nah, you elected yourself to 5 minutes of time speaking via fucking Bic pen usually, and some assholes no, not some assholes. All the promoters I've met are actually lovely, but and some guys notebook, and yeah, bang, you get your five. Be silent. Make that the whole thing. There was one, I think it was Tom Segura's podcast where he was saying one of his favorite open mic routines was no, Jerry Corley. Jerry Corley was saying in one of his discussion videos, one of his favorite stand-up routines was, I can't remember if he said the guy said nothing or just ate shit and did not get any laughs the entire time. But at the end of his 5 minutes, he was like a heavier dude. So what he did was he pulled like one of those like Kodak disposable cameras, like the ones like that you gotta like take to the our developer fucking at CVS too, like just one of the yellow cameras.
Okay.
Pulled it out of his like under his titties, took a picture, and then put it back. Thank you, that's my time, and then just fucking walked off. And he said, like, yeah, that guy's material was terrible, but that one fucking thing, like, oh, that's fucking hilarious. Like, it's like, yeah, like just shit like that. If you can find a way to make people remember you, even neutrally or even negatively, negatively is still, hey, remember that fucking guy? Yes, I do. Is the response, you know?
Yeah, it's kind of like getting views on YouTube. Like you can make really good content, or if someone like makes something that's really bad, but
Mm-hmm.
like bad in a entertaining way, or like a way that gets people talking, you can still get views,
Oh yeah.
even though like if your shit's all bad, you know.
Oh yeah. Absolutely. Like, as you know, as long as you're not like fucking X amount more racist than digestible to whoever the fuck you're trying to, or you know, or whatever else may be like not okay to like do. As long as you're not being X amount of terrible as a human being, yeah, you can fucking do whatever you want.
Honestly, I would be interested in trying that one day, but like my thing is I don't like I wouldn't be the guy to like write jokes down beforehand. I would just try to just talk the way that I usually do, and then people just
You'd
usually
be fucked.
laugh.
You'd
Yeah,
be fucked. So if you say it's your first time, you'll get some sympathy like giggles. But if mechanically what you're saying is not somewhat following set up punchline, like I'm not saying like it's gonna fail, but like that takes a lot of like crowd working experience. Like I'm not close to being able to do it yet, kind of thing.
interesting. No, like I definitely think that like
But if you
putting
could,
in the effort is definitely.
But if off the top of your head you can do set up punchlines, do it. Like that's the thing. If you know how to make them work, still do it. I'm not trying to talk you out of like doing it off the cuff in general, but like without a, and that's why it takes a while. Without a good understanding of what, as far as collection of words, collection of following words equals fucking hardy har har. Like it's a weird nuance to be able to play with.
No, I think there are definitely few comedians who can do that on the spot and actually be funny.
There's a good amount, honestly. There's one at the place I go to who that guy's fucking great. That guy's real fucking good.
Oh
Like
yeah.
I forget his name, but like like I've had some like decent sets. Like people have like I've had a few like other comedians like tell me like they like my material, yada yada. They like recognize me. They say hi. Like they like added me on their Instagram and shit like that. Like it, which all like 10 people listening to this, Wooten Nannies on Instagram. So what fucking Worcester stat? I don't know if I'm allowed to plug them, but like they'll take it probably. And that's the thing. All 5 people listening, just give them a follow. They're great. They're absolutely lovely. But
All the five
fucking
people listening.
but hopefully more.
Yeah, one day, yeah.
Yeah, maybe if I like say zany shit a few times in a row, it become more popular. I don't fucking know. But
And just hope that we don't get cancelled.
who's gonna cancel us?
I don't know, probably
All 4 people listening?
who knows? One could be the president.
Okay. And then if he cancels us, that's like anti-freedom. I'm not telling people how to make a fucking chlorine bomb, Gregory. I'm fucking just saying fucking shit a few times.
I would not put it past you, but I see your point. I see your point, Sheldon. But no, I definitely think it can be a very cool experience for anyone to try. You know, if you think that you can, you say some funny stuff sometimes.
Oh, that's what I was saying. Like, yeah, like fucking, yeah, like they recognize me, all that shit. But that guy, that other guy, I forget, like fucking about my height, skinnier, way skinnier, black hair, curly hair, fucking. But like, yeah, he just off the cuff writes like 7 minutes, and it's all fucking like, it's it's dense. Like he like can on the spot. Like not on the spot. Well, yeah, technically on the spot. Like in like a few sets before his, we'll just write his fucking 5 to 7, and it'll be extremely dense, full of like laugh points and like if what he's saying, if he's able to do what he's saying and like write all that in like one little like, hey, I'll take a beer before the open mic. If he can write that in that small amount of time and it be that dense, like I fucking Christ, guy. I hope he's going to Boston because the guy's good.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, he's really fucking good.
Yeah. So sometimes you just have like almost like a natural talent for it. You know.
He does, and honestly, like even just like because what he was saying, like again, he killed for like he went on last and like thank fuck because that guy's headlining. Like it's like he was just the best one there. And I remember even having like a pretty decent night myself. But like, nah, this guy, like, it is so hard to make other comedians laugh on purpose. If you have, if it's your first like 1 or 2 sets, and you actually thought about and put together like a tight 3 for a tight 5, and you like do, you'll get sympathy laughs just out of like recognition of like you're doing this correctly, like you're composing your set in a cogent manner and are actually trying this activity. So like, haha to your fucking joke at the grocery store or whatever. So but like other than that, like even starting out, like it was like easy to pick out like just like when people would laugh, like okay, that one's sympathy, that one's sympathy, that one was real. Fuck right, that felt good. That felt fucking good.
Did you save that one?
Yeah, and but yeah, so like yeah, it's hard to make other comedians laugh like after they know you, because then it's just no. What's funny about that? Like just fucking to help you. If you make comedians laugh and you can make it digestible to a wider audience, like and if and what I mean by that is if you can make it not like jokes about like dead babies or whatever the fuck, which like yeah, there's great dead baby jokes, obviously, but if you can like like more like if people that watch like Family Guy can fucking laugh at that, and it makes other comedians laugh, you'll probably fucking kill in front of a crowd like of no fucking comedians.
Interesting. Honestly, it sounds like it potentially could be like a really fun career too. You know,
I mean, career is a strong word, but
Uh,
yeah.
I mean,
So it's
sky's the
possible.
yeah, sky's the limit. You know.
Side gig, possible. Possible as fuck. Career, I like it seems like that's obtainable, but way harder. But
Oh, of
side
course.
gig, just to like fucking like I kind of just gotta keep doing open mics until I feel like I can charge people. That's really fucking it. You know, like, for anyone trying to be a comedian, if you fucking kill constantly, and you can do that for about 15 minutes, consider talking to people that charge people shit. See if you can also charge people shit. Da-da-da-da.
And people have gone really creative with like how they write and how they speak with their comedy.
Oh yeah.
You know, and I think it's about authenticity. Like you said, like to be remembered when the audience, like when the show is over, will they remember you, or will you just be like the other 8 million comedians out there? You know.
Yeah, right. And that has a lot to do with it. Like at the end of the day, like as much as I definitely like don't give it proper respect, but like stand up is art. Like it is actually a craft to which like like you do have to work on it. But once you do, it's I don't know. It's kind of like when you discover like music is technically a viable job if you get like really good and you like know how to do it. Like if you work a 9 to 5 and then on the weekends you like take a train into Boston and just like play violin on the side of the road. If you make fucking like $100 that day, shit wasn't that successful kind of thing. So like in the same way as like a side gig. Like if you fucking like same thing in stand up. Like if you just keep on talking to promoters and they keep liking what they see, yeah, you're good.
Yeah, it's about like it's about working on your craft, believing in yourself, and confidence, courage. It just takes a lot to like, and like, and the higher you go, the more you are gonna need all of these aspects as well, because you're
Oh
gonna
yeah.
dealing with more people, more pressure. And if you get famous, they're gonna expect you to be at least a certain amount of funny. So you have expectations,
Mm-hmm.
pressure, and all that. But if you can, if you can try your best, and you don't have to succeed every time, but if you can try your best and just make it work somehow, then or at least or at least if you want to give it a shot,
Oh
you
yeah.
know.
Like I said, like you technically don't need material. Just go up there and start talking. Like, so that's the thing. Like, to take it seriously as fast as possible, yeah, write it down. But like, if you're just trying to try it out, yeah, go ahead and trust me, you're not gonna get laughs. But like, yeah, go ahead, do it. It's self-expression. That's honestly even healthy to do if you're taking it seriously. Go bomb on purpose. It's fucking good for you.
Yeah, and it's also it helps you it helps with confidence as well, because
Yeah.
if you can be comfortable when you're bombing, then that should help you like overall um just feel more comfortable in a situation. You're like, okay, I know that even if I bomb, it's like almost being rejected, by someone.
Yeah.
Like if you get used to rejection, it still may hurt, but you may get so used to it that you're not gonna take it too personal and realize that there's 8 billion people in the world and all that.
Yeah, it's another situation of there's a lot of calming, like there's a lot to be calm about in the theory of, all right, next time. Like, and that's just another example of it. Like, if you do shitty, yeah, okay, next time, fuck it.
Yeah, and
What
then
can you do to improve it next time?
yeah, try harder. See where you can improve. See where you strive. See where you kind of should work on or should drop and focus on the thing that you're good at.
Mm-hmm.
Because
Drugs also help. Drugs and alcohol.
drugs have been known to be sadly a pretty big thing among like really big, not even comedians, but like just celebrities in general.
Yeah,
You
yeah.
know.
I'm be honest with you, Greg. Though, in the broad scheme of the art world, I'm just saying, I feel like a few sacrifices are worth a few instances of art. You can thank heroin for the Red Hot Chili Peppers' good music. I'm just saying, you can. It's fucked up that you have to, but you do.
No, I mean like sometimes you have to you feel like you have to do what you have to
Alcoholism
do.
made Bill Burr, sir. If not from his hand, probably someone's. Yeah, you know what? That's probably less accurate. Alcoholism definitely made Ron White.
I mean, I guess drugs and things like alcohol are definitely improved. Also, because like a comedian, sir, or just the overall stand up career, or people who do
Wouldn't have Andy
stand up.
Warhol without acid. Drugs are good, all
I
right?
mean,
Just saying.
and in like another way, like they also like when people are drunk, they're easier to make laugh.
Yeah, and honestly, like in the realest way, like if you like, you know, if you can like drink in moderation or do anything in moderation, I do sincerely mean it. Like a beer does take the edge off of like getting up there and standing in front of a crowd. Like it really can. Obviously, don't go overboard with it, or do. If you start finding success and just getting schmammered every night, yeah, a lot of fucking comedians have.
Getting paid to just like be like a be like a drunk mess on stage, dude. That sounds
You think Mitch Hedberg was sober?
who's the
Oh, really historic comedians. Like again, like of the four people here, like listening to this, if one of them's like above 30, you just made them real fucking sad.
I apologize to like the one person that I probably made sad.
You apologize to
Actually, not
probably one of
really.
my
No,
friends.
I don't. Listen, we each have our own different experiences. Okay, if you would like to send me a nice email or leave a comment, uh, explaining everything that I didn't know in this podcast, I will give it a read, and I appreciate your time. But I'm pretty sure there's people out there who don't know who Messi is or how big
Not
like
really.
Ronaldo is.
Not really. As an American, I know who Messi is. It's pretty fucking. He's well known.
There are people that I know that play soccer that don't know who
Oh,
Messi
you're
is.
just fucking making that up.
No, I'm serious. Like
Nah, come on.
I've met people in high school and college who had no idea who Messi or Ronaldo are.
Then they weren't playing soccer, Greg. They were playing something else. You got a
No,
case of the brain jumblies. That soccer people know who Messi is. I'm not a soccer guy.
I can guarantee you, I can find at least one person in my gym that plays soccer or has played soccer, like in high school or something, or at least for fun, almost consistently, and does not know who Messi or Ronaldo are.
No, both. Nah, like
Both,
Messi enough
both.
is some bullshit, but like both Messi. So someone right now is willingly kicking a soccer ball in the United States of America and don't know who at least either Messi or Ronaldo is.
Yeah,
It's a
like
fucking lie.
dude, I guarantee you, I can guarantee you. I mean, obviously now that Messi has won a World Cup, it might be like a little bit dicier.
It's like spending money on a Yu-Gi-Oh card without ever knowing what Dark Magician is. Like, how the fuck? How do you know about this?
There are people that probably do that because, like, I mean, because like Yu-Gi-Oh is a anime uh, uh
It's a card
card
game.
game. Yes, right. And it's been a couple of years. It's like it's a little bit old,
Mm-hmm.
but it's I think it's something that people could get into, and then like because Dark Magician is a name of a card.
It's like Magic
Um,
the Gathering, but more difficult and less difficult at the same time. And even they know who Messi and Ronaldo are. So I'm gonna be real with you, Greg. The fact that you're trying to sit here with a straight face and tell me there are soccer players, bless you, that
thank you.
do not know who Messi and Ronaldo are.
I am willing to bet money that I can find at least one person who, like I said, now that Messi has won a World Cup, it might be a bit tougher to find people that don't know who
Before
he
that,
is.
yeah.
No, like I'm willing to bet that I can find at least one person who has played soccer and is like, oh, who's Messi or Ronaldo? Who's like,
I,
oh, you mean
I feel like you can't.
or when I'm like, I think I've asked one person was like, oh, do you know who Maradona is?
All right,
And,
that one I can see.
and the
I can
person
see
is like,
Maradona, yeah.
oh, the singer,
So like that one I can see. Maradona, like, and that's the thing. I say Messi and Ronaldo because they're the biggest. It's kind of like
right?
football. Tom Brady. You don't live in America and you know any football player, you fucking know Tom Brady. You know what I mean? Or same thing with basketball. You know Michael Jordan.
I mean, I will.
In China, they know LeBron better, but
Yeah, shout out to him. Not really. Like But I do think it's a bit sadder because football or soccer, as you folks call it here in America, is the biggest sport in the world, and Messi is one of the biggest players in history of the sport. And people will still not know who he is. Oh, hold on. Our time is running short here, so I'm going to take a pause and we'll be right back. Hello, everyone, and we are back. Thank you. Apologies for the little break there. We just had to get some food for my special guest here on the ready, and now we're back. And we were talking about how I'm pretty sure there are people in this country, Americans, who play
Wrong.
soccer, and I'm pretty sure don't know who either Lionel
Lies.
Messi or Ronaldo are.
Untrue.
I'm willing to bet money on that I can find
You'd lose
one
money.
person.
You'd lose money.
$5, Sheldon.
God, sure.
All right, let's shake
I don't
hands.
believe you. No, no, no. We don't want to shake hands because now you're just gonna come. You could come back in one room, walk right outside, walk right back in. Hey, so I asked this guy. Turns out he didn't know.
I I can even get like a friend of mine to say that potentially.
Yeah, a friend of yours to say that. Of course he's gonna. For money? Just tell him like, hey, you want a fucking pack of gum? That's what you can buy with a 250 if we split this bet on whether or not a soccer player in America knows who fucking Messi is.
I guarantee you there are people out there. Listen, people
There may
uh
be people who don't know Ronaldo,
people
but
can
that's
be
because they
really
know
ignorant.
Messi.
People can be really ignorant about like
That's ignorant
things.
on purpose, though.
Yeah, exactly. But still ignorant nonetheless.
I mean, like, fucking maybe, but no. With all due respect, just no.
Well, we'll see. I would definitely find someone that we may even know mutually who has played soccer but don't know who like any of them are.
Who do we know that's played soccer? Who do we both know that's played soccer? Who do I know that you know?
We'll find out eventually, hopefully one day. And then you owe me the actual $5 bill.
Sure.
Um, but yes, I also think like just speaking of just plain uh ignorance about things that you should know. There are people that like, for example, me, right?
Hmm.
Like I've lived in this country. I was born here, but I was ultimately you know uh born. Well, I've been here for like an overall of about like 7 years or so, 7 8 years. I think almost 9. Uh, coming up soon, and I cannot tell you mm, like 25 states.
I feel like a lot of people probably wouldn't be able to. I
And
feel like a lot of people like could sit down and think about it, but it'd take like the runtime of a movie.
potentially, I think you better be, or you better watch, or you would be better watching Titanic than waiting for me to name like 25 states.
I'd rather watch you trying to name 25 states,
I thought
honestly.
Iowa was a city.
Is it not? Like, is it not just Des Moines and then miscellaneous addresses?
Des Moines fun fact. Des Moines is actually where I was born.
No shit.
Des Moines, Iowa.
No
Yeah.
shit.
So
Nice.
yeah, that was a pretty fun
Yeah,
time for my
exactly. See
mother.
how anything happened there? It only happened in Des Moines.
Dude, it was actually pretty interesting.
Mm.
According to my mother, when I was born, like the floors underneath the room that I was born, they were like, I'm not sure, there was like a fire going on,
At
and
the time you were being born.
yeah, and I was not
What?
sure, how like how bad the fire was. I don't think she remembered it either, but there was a fire,
Well,
but
couldn't have been that bad.
it
You were
was
fucking delivered there.
it was never on my floor.
Huh.
It was probably on the floor underneath me, on the floors underneath
I feel
me,
like
but
it
not on
wasn't
the same
that
one.
bad then.
Potentially,
Was it at a hospital?
yeah.
Oh, then yeah, it was probably like don't get me wrong, fire's probably bad at a hospital, but like yeah, don't tell people upstairs. Don't fucking bother them. Like that's what that seems like.
I don't know. It just seemed like a really funny story to tell
That is funny.
people. Uh, either you can interpret it as I brought the fire, or the fire didn't come to me. You know,
Or the fire was like really close. That was like an omen.
maybe.
We got a pit for you to throw this thing in.
But thankfully, no one threw me at any pit, as far
Good.
as I know. And who
Good.
knows? Maybe that person saved the world by doing that,
Sure.
or by not doing that, I guess. Listen, Sheldon, I can be
What are your superpowers, Greg? How are you saving the world?
saving the world
Explain
by.
it to me, Lucy.
Okay, are you ready for this, Sheldon?
Yeah.
I am. My superpowers are to be real. You know.
Yep. Yep.
Yep. And I
It's a very
feel like,
common superpower.
listen, but I'm real, real. I'm like super real.
I feel like you're an advertisement.
I am walking content, Sheldon.
You're a synth. Oh my god, you are a fucking advertisement.
I'm walking content.
What were you put on this earth to do? Create content. Oh fuck, that's
Yeah,
you're an unsettling 4-year-old.
inspire people, just like move the masses. Be like a general and like a dictatorship army. Like
Yeah, yeah.
good
Get
people.
rid of all the undesirables that don't laugh at your jokes and
No, that's you, right?
who like Nickelback.
I actually like. I used to like some of their songs, but I think my favorite one from them, or the only one that I think is decent, is how you remind me.
See right there, you're executed. You're like a Nickelback song. In my dictatorship, you people don't survive.
I would just say that my mind changed and just lied to you
That's fine. Long as no one is saying they like.
publicly. Nickelback. So you'd be
I don't
like,
give a fuck if you believe it. It's like the gospel. I'm your new god, and your god says fuck Nickelback.
you do have a beard and long hair. You'd be like a German Jesus. You know what I mean?
Fucking
Like a
Skippy.
German savior. You know.
Yeah, fuck Skippy. I would be.
You have the beard, long hair. You know.
Yeah,
Yeah, I can see
totally.
you sitting on like a throne made out of like gold and shit. You know.
Fuck right. Hail Satan, man.
But yeah, you were Satanist, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, I forgot about that. So, how old were you when when you realized that you were a Satanist, or you decided to be one?
About school, so like 25. Yeah. I honestly just watched a documentary about it, and I always adopted a mentality of I'm not going to follow a religion unless I can follow it outright. Because anyone can be like one of those like fucking 1/5 Christians who like kind of just like, yeah, Jesus is cool, but like, I can't have a fucking burger on a Friday. It's sucking dick. No, like fucking. To which like I have no problem like with those people as long as they're not like intrusive about it.
Right,
But like I have no problem with any religion as long as it's not intrusive. But like,
but some definitely are.
oh, absolutely, and that's why like I kind of just abstain from religion unless I could like absolutely outright follow every single part of it because like I don't feel like fucking aligning under a specific philosophy is wise to do unless you can live by that philosophy.
Like, and it has to be like to the T as well. You know what I mean? Like,
Yeah, right.
if
Like why half-ass
like
it?
yeah,
Like you
and
think you're gonna go to hell or not? Fucking lean in, not too much, because that's how you get the fucking like Westboro Baptist Church, and we don't like them. But well, I don't like them. If you're a fan, do you?
I don't know what that is.
Oh, they're a nice, wholesome Christian group who don't really like the LGBTQ community. However many fucking letters I'm missing, they don't like them too much. They're very God hates them about it. They protest soldiers' funerals. Make signs that say God loves dead soldiers. They're the only organization I have ever fucking seen to make the Hell's Angels good guys, because Hell's Angels just show up at soldiers' funerals to blockade the Westboro Baptist Church. And it's like, those are some fucking do-gooding murderers right there, probably. Those guys that probably push weapons, they're doing the right fucking thing by just imposing themselves violently on that's how bad the Westboro Baptist Church is. You root for the Hell's Angels in a they might get fucked up scenario.
Wow, that sounds like quite a scene to watch from like far away.
Yeah, or up close. you and who they call White Dennis getting he's just doing his routine with his knife through his teeth. He's handing you a beer because you're buddies, because you're both at the same fucking funeral. That's how shitty the Westboro Baptist Church is.
You really sound like you're not a fan.
No, I'm not. I'm not at all. I do not like them one bit.
I never had a set religion. Like my family's mostly Catholic,
Yeah.
and I'm more like, and it's funny. Like I was doing my profile thing for the dating app Match .com, and it was like, oh, what is your religion? And one of the options was spiritual.
Mm-hmm.
So I was like,
feel
I
like
think
that's
that.
just for like girls that read tarot.
Oh, I put myself as that.
No, that's honestly good strategy.
I mean, because
Learn a little bit about it. You know, don't say that and then like one witchy bitch like. So what's your rising? You failed. You failed.
but isn't I thought spiritual was more like you believe in like
Oh, it can be, but if you put like spiritual, oh, okay, I see what you're saying. You put spiritual like because it just said spiritual. I thought you were saying like you put like Wicca or something.
oh no, like it literally just said spiritual.
Oh, fair.
Yeah, I think I'm. That's definitely more me. Not 100%, but like I don't have a set religion. I just choose like my values, and
Mm-hmm.
there's like different religions have values that I agree with. Some of
Yeah,
them don't. Some of them, and like, and even people that follow, like, oh, the people say, oh, I'm a Christian, I'm a good Christian, whatever,
yeah,
but they're actually like lukewarm Christians, and like they read the Bible or whatever, but they only choose to see certain parts of it, and then the other parts don't really matter.
yeah. They kind of just ignore that like it's also a sin to eat shrimp, so long as they can keep on mentioning like other shit that God don't like apparently.
Yeah, no, yeah, and it's just like I think those people, like people criticize anyone who doesn't have a religion or who's not this, who doesn't believe in God and this and that. But I think for a bit of time or a decent amount, people who call themselves Christians or people from other religions, but only follow it lukewarmly, only choosing the values that they want.
Aren't they at that point taking the Lord's name in vain by what should be their own standards?
Yeah, exactly. Those people can be worse than people who don't even have like a set religion.
Oh, absolutely.
Like
They often are because they kind of just want to like at least say that they belong to something without understanding or wanting to understand fully what they belong to.
and many of them like want the power to have over people. Just say like I am like they will say like, oh, I'm the disciple, like I am, like I know what's right from what's wrong, and you should follow me,
Mm-hmm.
blindly. And then people don't call that a cult because
Oh, people call it a cult, just not the people in the cult.
exactly. It's like you are in a cult, but you don't want to like someone can tell you the definition of a cult. You agree. They'll describe the things that you do that match with the definition of a cult. But
Yeah,
then when they ask you, "Do you think you're in a cult?" They'll literally look you in the eye, and say, "No."
it's like that episode of SpongeBob with Man Ray. Aren't you Patrick Star? Yup. So this is your ID. Yup. And this ID was in this wallet. Yup. So this is your wallet. It's not my wallet. Just beats the fuck out of him. That's that.
I don't think I've ever watched that episode, honestly.
It's not my wallet. Yeah, it's precisely that.
My mother's a really big fan of Patrick. She talks like him a lot when she's trying to talk like me because of how straightforward I am with people sometimes.
That's fucking
There's
amazing.
that episode when they're trying to sell chocolate, and then SpongeBob was like, "You should be more friendly to people."
I love
They're not,
you.
yeah, she did
Yeah.
she did that shit to me yesterday, and she's like, "Yeah, yeah, Greg, you cannot just like come up to people and be like, oh, I love you," That's like the first thing they tell them, and it's like, and
That's a solid plan. Your mother's a smart lady.
no, she's like, "Yeah, like you cannot be doing that to people," and I was like, "I don't do that," but like, you know, that was a whole thing. And she really likes teasing me
Especially
about it.
when there's gems that you could stick to. Like, hey, nice shoes, wanna fuck? Never fails. Try it. On real
No,
people.
I will never. The only people I will try on a Sheldon is jokingly on you.
Nah, see, that's why you're fucking up, Greg. Women like directness. So, quoting movies of
God
scumbags,
damn
like
it.
it works. I'm telling just go up to someone, right? Just say, "Nice shoes, want to get some pizza, go back to my place and fuck." And then when they look like disgusted, just say, "What, you don't like fucking pizza?" And then just keep on doing that until you don't need to say what you don't like fucking pizza. Just keep on quoting disgusting people in movies, Greg.
I rather keep my reputation the way it is, Sheldon.
That's
But you know what?
boring, but I
If
respect it.
if you want to go on the street and record yourself doing that and then send the video to me, I will post. I'll gladly
Well, I'm not
post that
single,
on.
so I can't do
Fuck.
that anymore.
Hmm.
Does work though.
Oh yeah.
It's how I got my lady now.
Oh really? So if I ask her how that went,
Yup. She'll just say like on a magical night one evening, I came up smelling very strongly of weed. Just said, "Want to come back to my place, get some pizza and fuck."
the the so,
She'll tell you.
Oh my god. Yeah, the smell that
and,
really attracts people
and I have
sometimes.
never said a single word to her otherwise.
You see, I believe in that as much as you believe in when I say that there are people out there who don't know who Messi and Ronaldo are that actually play football.
I mean, it's a compelling argument, Greg, but
I know, buddy.
see, I got a girlfriend, and you don't got anyone that believes that they didn't know who Messi or fucking Ronaldo were at the same time while playing football.
Okay, I definitely cannot refute the first one, your first statement. You definitely do have a girlfriend, which I
So then I
was.
just said two true things. If one of
The
the things I
second
said
one,
is true, then the
no.
second one
Listen,
has to be.
I had
I'm
a
only
class in
saying true
college,
things.
critical thinking. That is a false premise. That is a one that is one true premise and one false premise.
That's fake
So
news, man. I
your
said two
conclusion is
true
false.
things
To
consecutively.
you, maybe.
Yeah, and my truth matters, Greg. Don't try to take my truth away from me.
No, I'm not gonna take it away from you. I'm just gonna build a
Gravity
wall.
is just a theory,
I,
Greg.
I'm just gonna build a wall around you and make you pay for it.
You know what? That is what we want. We do like walls, and
We
other
do
people
like
not to
walls.
pay for it. So yeah, you know what? That's completely fine. In the same way that I just said two things right in a row, and one of them
You know that two rights don't make
has
a
you
left.
owe me $5.
You know that two
You
right.
tax avoiding communist.
Listen, two rights don't make a left. Okay.
I I'm yeah, I know. It's why you're the communist.
I'm not a communist. I simply, I have, I have some ideas on where,
I'm actually way
where.
way communist.
Oh, really?
I'm very much like, hey, can homeless people just stop being a thing? We have the fucking housing availability, you know.
No, we definitely do. But it's about
Well,
like
hunger be
money,
cool to
dude.
stop.
Some people like money over the
So
actual health of the nation.
as far as money though, so at least for produce, from the amount of produce we throw away just because it's aesthetically displeasing, we could actually end hunger like in the United States.
Yeah, but no, I like for example, like for me, I definitely you were talking about like you were just saying about like being like a communist or whatever. I do think that like I have some things that I do agree that people may take it as like communism. Like I think that healthcare for all should be a thing.
Oh
Like
yeah.
and even if people are like, oh, it's higher taxes and they do a bad job, whatever. Listen, you don't have to pay 2 grand for an ambulance ride. I know
Hmm.
someone that had an accident, paid 5 grand just for the ambulance trip. All
I've
right,
heard of 15 even in some
fifteen
scenarios.
thousand
Yep.
for one ambulance ride.
Yep. Maybe it was 100. I don't know. It was years ago. Either way, it's
Either way,
fucked.
that's still a decent bit of money that people like. There's an instance that I was watching this. Uh, I like some late night shows, but I do some research as well to just make sure that it's trustworthy.
Yeah.
John Oliver, actually one of my favorite late night
I
show
fucking
hosts.
love John Oliver.
John
Mentioned
Oliver,
love last
he's
week tonight.
the part that I like about him so much. Just like a side note, like I don't like Trump, right? And I don't think you do either. Um,
No, not fucking particularly. I do not care for them
yeah, I mean, yeah, same here. I just strongly don't like him.
or the fact that he's alive.
That is a different level, but uh, fair enough, fair enough. But I will say that like every other host, like I know he does like a lot of shit and like there's a lot of things to investigate, but every other host just does too much on him. There's like all the shit going around in the world, and like it's just over and over again. Like you hear Donald Trump's name at least like for the 5 episodes that they post a week, you hear them. You hear his name on an episode like at least 4 times of those 5 times a week. But
Hmm.
John Oliver, every single weekend, sometimes he will like mention about certain politics and shit,
Mm.
but it involves like different areas it's linked to something that he teaches you
He does exposés rather than just like if something's significant enough, that's what they'll report on it. Whereas like they've done multiple episodes on Trump, but they've also been like relevant to like other shit.
yeah that like he taught me so much about like mental health in like this country, like healthcare for all, like
Prison system,
prison
police
system,
inequality.
police.
Yep.
He just released a new one about narcotics this past Sunday.
Yeah, the
I
one
think.
where psychedelics treating mental disorder.
Yes,
Yep.
exactly. And I watched most of it, and I think it's and he's won most of the Emmys or the awards for late night host, and I definitely do agree that he deserves it because he just has taught me so much that like no other show host has taught me, and it's just
Well, on top of that, he's also just genuinely funny. Like some of his delivery, like I'm still saying, "What the fuck even is that, Charlie Brown?" Like for no reason. Like just like it's like little shit like that
yeah, he's funny.
in between the
He
information.
yeah, it's just he's just like in he's an entertaining person to watch, of course, and he did something about I actually just completely brain farted on like why I even brought him up. Uh but well anyway, we were talking about like healthcare for all, right? And
Mm-hmm.
he did an episode for that, like how much it would cost and like how it would be, and like yes, taxes would be higher. There's some possibilities that it could go badly, but we don't have to follow exactly what they do. We can make it better,
Right.
but with the amount of money that these health insurance companies make, it can definitely be like harder to move away from that, because you know if you're someone, if you're like part of a company that earns billions of dollars
Mm-hmm.
a year, you probably are going to invest money in trying to keep that funding going.
Right.
And like they definitely like you know, as bad as it can be, you know, they can they still help people, um like even though they charge people like sometimes too much money, it's still something. Some countries don't even have health insurance
Right.
things, you know. So I don't, I'm not really a particular fan of having of like just having health insurance as a concept of like a nation,
Mm.
but I'm grateful for at least having that. You know,
Right.
I think that can be important in at least a basic level for sure. But I would definitely like, I'm a big supporter on like I said, healthcare for all. And even if we have to pay higher taxes, we have to like hold the government accountable for the amount of money that we give them, and make sure that you know, everyone, that the money that we pay is going somewhere good. Hence, you know, like I think it's definitely worth paying more taxes if it means that if you they don't have to worry about like selling your left kidney if you like break an arm or some shit, you know, and you
Right.
have to take an ambulance ride. Oh, and I just remembered why I brought him up. He did an episode. I think it was in the same episode where, or someone mentioned something where a woman, like she had this medical event going happen to her, like a train station or whatever.
Mm-hmm.
And when asked if you know, someone was like, "Oh, I'm calling an ambulance," she literally like stopped them from calling an ambulance. And when asked why, she said, "Because I don't have enough money to cover it."
Oh, absolutely.
So they rather just be there and like get worse than have to call an ambulance. And if you are in that situation in a first world country like the United States of America, I think that is really sad. And really, it should be like really shameful.
Yeah, no, right, and like the fact that that's at all strewed as like a political issue, other than the fact that it's kind of deplorable either end of the spectrum that it's even happening. Yeah, no, I feel you. I don't really get how that's like a hot button topic. Like, I get how it would cost more money, but like everything would cost more money. Like, you know what I fucking mean? Like, let's say we find a cure for cancer. We can't just fucking like make that like fucking like we can just not pay the people that did that. You know what I mean?
Right, right. Like they definitely
We also just
deserve to
can't
be.
like probably pull it out of thin air too. We probably gotta like do shit like materially that costs money to do it.
Oh yeah, like yeah, yeah. There's definitely like a balance to it. Um, but you know, like it's almost to the point where if we do find the cure for cancer, it would be, especially here, it would be ridiculously like expensive to the point where like like the cost of saving your life could cost you your life. You know, like in
Oh
the
well,
long
that's
run.
already a thing. Even just in
Right.
treating it.
No, I think it's just really sad, and I think I think I would personally, you know, I may be like a 21-year-old person and not like like a adult that you know, like lives on his own and has all that independence needs and stuff. But I definitely think I would personally not mind paying higher taxes if if it meant that I didn't have to worry about medical bills being that expensive. You know.
Yeah, and honestly, I feel like the same could be said if you paid a little more taxes to make like housing more fucking like obtainable. Like it's kind of one of those things, like you said, where like, are we better off than the average nation? Yeah, sure, but the fact that like you can really work like two jobs and still not afford housing.
No, I think that's absolutely just that's. I have like no words for that. Like,
No, right? Like it's, yeah, it's kind of like just as it fucking sounds. Like and then like it was also like kind of funny, like real, like just watching people like, oh, but me and my landlord have a good relationship. No, you're a monetary fucking number to them. Like, it's, you know, I fucking mean, like, they don't give a shit if you can't make rent. 9 times out of 10, there are some good landlords, and they should absolutely be shouted out. But like, nah, like it was a real good time the last like few years for like shitty landlords to like just hike your rent up to 1,500 just because it started with, well, that guy's 900 instead of 800 now, and then that's just where we fucking are now. Yeah, they really leaned into that pretty fucking well.
yeah, it's just a really sad situation for many people out there. You know, like I think if you work two jobs, one full time, one you barely have any room like or time for yourself or do things for you.
Well, see, that's the thing, and even sacrificing that time for yourself, still not really even
No,
doing it most of
oh,
the time.
absolutely not. Yeah, and you're still like struggling to even like pay the bills and eat well.
Yeah.
You know,
Oh, eating well is like far low, like real fucking low. So like I try to eat well, but like for a lot of people, it's like fucking far on the, or far down on the list of priorities.
oh,
Mostly just eating.
yeah, just like eating is like just like borderline like you're trying to survive at that point. You know,
Yeah.
like if you don't have like that much money to spend, and like it's a tight budget and stuff. Like I'm pretty sure you would probably buy five McDonald burgers, or like the general you would rather buy five $1 cheeseburgers than having to buy like one healthy meal. You know what I mean?
Well, even when it's more expensive, like let's say you're working a shit ton and you can barely like afford what you have now. If you are just making your bills, you're gonna be more likely to spend more money if you're overworked, because then you just don't want to really fucking do anything. You go to McDonald's, have something real quick, and then, you know, go about the rest of your inability to have a day. Probably.
Yeah, it's just a really sad world out there, and there's that. And then, of course, the fact that it's not a really social country to begin with, so people have a really tough time communicating and like enjoying themselves. There's a lot of depression, and
Well, it's weird. We're like pseudo social. Like we're very focused on social media, but not really like interpersonal interactions.
which I think is essential for like a social species like ours. You know,
Yeah, it's almost like we take play, like we take part in some like really big version of voyeurism.
what is it?
Basically just an unknowing observation of something else, I guess. Like, if like people don't know they're being watched, they are being voyeurized. So like that, in that way, like social media is basically just a way to enable that for people while not really interacting face to face as often.
Which I think it has some good points to it, but I think for the most part, it's really making some things worse. You know, like in terms of
Oh, and that's what I'm saying. Yeah,
no, yeah, it's
absolutely.
just and then you know there's others. You add all that together, and you get like people that are depressed, and like good people that are depressed, tired, and don't have anyone to talk to, and then they even get is more and more depressed, and that's why you have people like, you know, like Robin Williams when he committed, you know, like allegedly when he committed suicide, it was like a big shock because he seemed like such a like a happy person, and
You say allegedly for.
well, I don't know, you know, because
Do you think he didn't commit suicide?
I mean, I never say 100%. You know. What I
I
mean, like
mean,
most likely he did, but I always like to have an open mind about multiple things. You know, even if it's like 99.9% he did commit suicide. You know, I always like to leave like a door open for a possibility of not.
that's fair.
But yeah, it was just like a big shock to
When
everyone.
Robin Williams was murdered, people were real sad. So saith Greg.
Potentially. Uh, yeah, and like he was cheerful, and when he did it, it was such a big shock, and that's
And
probably
when
what.
that guy did it, it was such a big shock because, like, you know, he liked living. So saith
Good
Greg.
lord, Sheldon. But I think that many people like probably are on the edge of that kind of abyss, and
Oh yeah.
they have money, they have fame, but when you're up there so high and you're still not happy compared to when you're like a bit lower and you're not happy, you kind of understand why you're not happy. Oh, it's like, oh, I don't
Oh
have
well,
the money, I don't have this or that. You know what I mean?
that can probably make you feel the hollowest is once you have all of
And yeah, because then it doesn't make sense to why. Because like if you have all that, or if I have all that, why am I still feeling this way? You know what I mean?
that. Yeah.
But we'll see. I hope things go for the better. But these things going on in like Turkey, the two earthquakes, the earthquake and the aftershock of the earthquake hitting Turkey, the war still in Ukraine. It's been pretty tough. Yeah, is
There were earthquakes in Turkey.
yeah. Have you not heard of it?
No, not recently. No.
So I think it was maybe a month ago or so. I don't know exactly the details. I think I kind of forgot. But I think less than a month ago, a 6.4 magnitude earthquake hit Turkey and like did a bunch of it just like wrecked certain places in it,
Oh shit.
and it was like a huge thing for like helping people that were like stuck under the rubble. There were like pictures being shared across social media of like
Just selfies of corpses and shit.
yeah, well, it was more like it was just like the level of destruction, the people that were buried in the rubble, people being rescued, animals being rescued. Just it was a tragic moment, and then the aftershock hit it last week, and it caused even more damage. So Turkey's been going through a pretty rough time recently, and
Sounds it.
yeah, things are. I think I would definitely say that things are definitely like a bit rough right now, for sure.
Definitely sounds it.
Yeah, it's just uh,
You think some places are like rubble enough to where they can make like snowmen out of them?
couldn't tell you, but
Like
you know,
Shattered Dream Men or something.
like Shattered Dream, man.
Yeah,
Why Shattered Dreams, Mike?
because it was probably someone's business. I don't know.
Good lord,
Can just make a
good.
snowman out of like dad's barber shop or whatever the fuck it was.
What would you do, Mike,
For what?
if you were living there and then you came across all the rubble and stuff,
Um,
and you're one of the survivors?
I suppose I'd try to build a snowman to see if I could answer my own question.
So people are like buried alive around you. There's like all these like efforts to like save people underneath the rubble.
Uh huh.
There's like destruction everywhere,
Uh huh.
and you'd be the like kid that's trying to
No,
build
I'd
a.
do this now.
You do it now.
I'd be the 28-year-old that makes snowmen out of rubble
I would really
in
like.
front of the people.
And why directly in front of the people, Mike?
Because if I'm thinking this, other people must be thinking it. So I intend to
You're
provide
probably
them
the
an answer.
first person that I've ever heard say the word snowman. What do you call it?
Uh, uh, daddy's fucking businessmen. I don't know. Sad men.
Sad.
They're made out of
Sad.
fucking
Oh my god.
someone's former business and probably corpses of people that prioritized said business.
And you be the one doing sad man?
Yeah, I'd try to make a snowman out of all the ashes and rubble out of it.
Would you take a selfie with it?
No, I'd just take a picture of it in front of all the people that are still buried under the rubble.
Good lord.
Because then, whenever they get out, they can immediately have an answer to what must be their burning question to. Oh fuck, this is a lot of rubble. Can you make a snowman out of it?
So you think someone's like buried underneath like
I think
piles
everyone
of
is thinking
rubble,
that.
and everyone's wondering
Yep.
if someone's making a rubble man
Mm-hmm.
out of all the concrete and shit.
Yeah,
You know, Sheldon, have you thought about being like
with a
signing?
carrot too.
Have you thought about signing up for one of those like rescue operations, is just so you can be on that area, just so you can do something like that
I've thought about doing it again.
again? What was the first time you did it, Sheldon?
No worries. Did it
Oh
once
my.
at 9/11. I was the only kid in a rain jacket having fun. Everyone else is super fucking bummed out for whatever reason. But
Did you did you ever wonder why?
no, why?
I did some research, Sheldon, on that day. Um,
It was raining men, so like that one ABBA song made a lot of sense that day.
what did people say to you as you were building that block, man?
They weren't saying much. They're more so just encased in ash and dead. So I made a snowman next to one of the mans. Because then it's both types of mans. Then we just got to get like
I,
a gorilla
I
and a
don't think it
monkey,
was snowing,
and then we could do like the whole
Sheldon. I
evolution
don't think
thing.
it was I don't think it was snowing that day, Sheldon.
It's a lot of white stuff that you could build snowmen out of.
Like what?
It seemed like snow. I built snowmen out of it. Didn't hold the carrot well. Not gonna lie, the snowman was not a fan of toppings.
Really?
Yeah,
Oh, I'm glad you tried at least, Sheldon.
wasn't cold either.
No shit, dude. Do you want to know why it wasn't cold, Sheldon? From
Uh,
the heat from the fucking smoke, Sheldon.
yeah,
Yeah.
yeah, and I made snowman out of it. So like, yeah, if I could go do that again out of somebody's business in Turkey in front of them,
What do you think the worldwide reaction would be?
if it even makes it anywhere.
But
What
if
do
it
I gotta do?
does,
Swat a camera out of some asshole's hand that looks like he's taking a selfie? Then all cameras are gone. We good. They're not sending news teams out to that.
I mean, they might.
Might.
What do you think the reaction is going to be to that?
Hopefully, donations to my Patreon to keep me going to different locations where rubble occurs and seeing if I can make snowmen out of them.
Oh, wow. You should be one of the demons locked in like Santa Claus's chains, or what do they call it?
I'd be Santa's
Like
gimp.
Saint Nick's
Saint
seven
Nick's
demons or
big dick.
whatever.
Yeah. Emporium or something.
I think we're talking about different lores here. I think you watched the longer lore video. I think.
I think you want to fuck Santa, and I don't blame you. That sounds like a solid idea.
Not sure how you got to that, and I mean, hey, listen,
Oh, we were talking about snowmen, so there's one way.
there's
Yeah,
well, there's a way, Sheldon. You know what I mean?
absolutely.
Especially if your name is Sheldon.
Sure. That was weird, Greg. Trying to have a wholesome conversation about building snowmen on the
Around
graves
dead
of my
people's
enemies.
bodies and like their business that they spend their whole lives work on, and
Dying people, yes.
or dead people as well.
Both. Don't discredit the kind of living.
Would you at least help take some of the rubble out?
After I made the snowman, yeah.
How long does it take to build a damn snowman?
You can't rush art, Greg. Alright?
What if people help you and then so you can help them?
I do my own thing. I don't know, really. The process takes time, you
The
say.
worst rescuer in human history, dude.
I didn't say I was a rescuer.
I'm saying like if you're going to become one and then go to the rubble and then do that.
Oh no, they're just paying for my ticket to fly there. That's all they're doing. I'm gonna abandon all that shit as soon as I get. This is just to show people I'm still alive. Like I'm Cartman from South Park. I'm just gonna stand there and point and laugh. The snowman used to be your livelihood. That was more Peter Griffin, but you fucking get it.
Holy shit, Sheldon.
Yeah.
I would. You probably. I think if I called 911 and you answered the phone, I would immediately just hang up.
That's very reasonable. I'm not a 911 operator. Fun fact.
Yeah, you probably would be like high, like on like a roller coaster, passed out or something like that.
Why on a roller coaster?
I don't know, Sheldon. It's you.
Okay. Do I frequent roller coasters?
I don't know. I don't know, Sheldon.
I mean, they're cool. I like roller
Well,
coasters.
well,
But
as I said,
I don't do the right drugs to pass out on a roller coaster, though, Greg. I'm a
not
little
yet.
offended. I mean, yeah, you know what? You're right. Honestly, Heroin did write all the good Red Hot Chili Peppers albums. That's fair as fuck. Shout out to drugs, ladies and gentlemen. Once again, drugs, they save the day.
Yeah, Sheldon may or may not be slightly high on some of them right now.
No. Is my only response.
And then he was calling me a liar earlier.
You are a liar. You invited me over here for fucking like pizza and Netflix, and there is only pizza and no Netflix. Almost like you're saying, "Hey, nice shoes, want to fuck?" All right.
I never said that. Like those words never came out of my
You're right,
mouth.
because you made pizza. So you said, "Want to come back to my place, get some pizza and fuck?" Well, I'm at your place, Greg. There's pizza.
Well, Sheldon, and
These lines work.
they do, but I think you have to work on your delivery, so I will reject you for today.
Oh, it ain't delivery. It's DiGiorno, baby. Pull it out.
I'm lacto. I can be a bit lactose intolerant, so you have to come up with something other
That's
than.
fine. You got a chin for me to aim at.
I have a chin for you to aim at.
Yeah.
How good is your aim?
It depends on if you stand still or not.
Do you practice at home, Sheldon?
Won't have to if you just, do the third thing after pizza.
Well, you have to.
These lines work, Greg.
Yeah, work on people who have maybe low standards, Sheldon. Honestly.
Yeah, hi. It's me.
That's
Thanks for having me.
you make a really good point,
I
Sheldon.
ate the fucking pizza, ladies and
You
gentlemen.
ate one slice of the pizza, Sheldon.
I had like half of that fucking pizza.
You had oh, okay, good because I was not looking forward to wasting any food. You can actually
He's
take
trying to fuck.
you can actually you can actually take some of it home, Sheldon.
Oh, it's working. Right there. It's working. See? You saw off a fat kid pizza.
Ladies and ladies and gentlemen, the what you have witnessed just now is my charm, and probably the wildest episode I've ever had so far. And I'm not surprised when you invite someone like Sheldon over, uh, and you expect something boring and like normal. You are in for a surprise because
Now who's
that's
sucking
not gonna
whose
happen.
dick, Gregory?
This is definitely not gonna be a kid friendly episode for sure.
Are any of your episodes have any of your episodes actually qualified as like kid friendly?
None of them.
No? Yeah, that's fair.
Because I do swear quite a decent bit in them.
Yep.
And yeah, it just helps in terms of like some parents can be really strict on like what their children watch, and they can be really critical on that. And it's also my description, like it's not for just anyone,
Yeah.
and you have to have like an open sense of humor. And like the podcast is called Off the Rails, and it's called Off the Rails for a reason. Like if you're expecting something normal, like consistent, like consistently the same people, consistently like
Do you put
normal,
like
straightforward shit, that's
explicit advisories on it or something like that? Like when you
uh
post it? Like do they let you do that?
when on the website that I use, I'm pretty sure I'm pretty sure it asks me if it is for kids or if it's like
Mm,
explicit content or not.
that's good that they distinct that.
Yeah, especially when I have episodes like these, Sheldon.
Thank you.
You're very welcome. Well, ladies and gentlemen, this will be it for today. Thank you very much for listening. If you have any comments or anything that you'd like to say or apply or agree with or not agree with, if you're one of those people that watches that plays soccer and doesn't know who Messi or Ronaldo or who they were
If you want
before
to
this
just
episode,
write in and lie. You have like a Twitter or something that people can write into?
uh,
That
I
could be a thing. You could like answer like mail or some shit.
I am working on having a Twitter on. I'm actually making that probably my main Twitter because I don't really use Twitter that much.
True. Is
Um,
Twitter even where people go anymore? Is that like
people
relevant?
is still Twitter still people Twitter is still quite a house of just messy shit that that people go wild in.
True.
So I still think Twitter's still like solid platform to like get noticed or like get at least a kind of publicity.
True.
But if you like to comment anything, I do have social media for you, some pages on Facebook and Instagram. I'll be linking them on the description of this episode, along with the link to the YouTube one, because I'm mainly focused on Spotify now and Audible. So if you rather listen to it on YouTube or rather make a comment on YouTube or Instagram or any of the pages, please feel free to do so. I've been your host for this evening, Gregory, and I would like to thank my special guest, Sheldon, for joining me today and making this probably the wildest episode, most like unhinged, off the rails episode I've had so far.
Hail Satan, ladies and gentlemen.
All right, you heard it from the one and only Sheldon, folks. Once again, thank you very much for listening. I appreciate your time, I appreciate your patience, and I appreciate the fact that you're willing to give this podcast a try. Rate it, subscribe, follow the podcast on Spotify, on Audible, uh, and please try to be honest if you can. Thank you very much for listening,
Don't be
and
honest. 5 stars all the time. Give it 5 stars. We're hungry.
that would be very much appreciated. But you don't have
I
to. But
suck dick for this pizza.
I will not deny nor confirm these allegations. But
I
thank
will.
you, thank you very much for listening.
Confirmed.
This has been Off the Rails podcast,
For
episode
pizza.
5.